Hey guys, and welcome back to Panic Knife Doll. Today I'm going to show you how to hook up a wire or wireless Xbox controller using Xpadder on PC games that don't support a gamepad. Xpadder is a software that simulates the keyboard and mouse using your controller. It's really easy to do and it doesn't take long, but first you'll need to have an Xbox controller. If you have a wired controller, then you're good to go, but if you want to use the wireless controller, you will need to have a wireless adapter. Microsoft discontinued making their wireless adapters. Now they're hard to find, but if you're lucky you can find a controller and wireless adapter combo at selective Best Buys. Adapters from Microsoft will have the Microsoft logo on it, and any aftermarket adapter will just say Xbox. You can easily find a third-party adapter by itself without a controller on Amazon. So once you have your controller ready, download Xpadder from xpadder.com. Just click the download button and follow the on-screen instructions. It's not a free program, it'll cost $10, but you'll be supporting the one programmer that designed the software. And as an added benefit, you get lifetime support and updates. Open Xpadder once you have the program downloaded, and make sure your controller or wireless adapter is plugged in. A window like this will pop up and Xpadder will automatically detect your controller. Click the controller icon here and hit New. Then you'll have your controller setting window. We'll start with Image. Now Image is totally optional. It works as a guide when you're setting up your button placements, but you can do without it. You can use a picture you already have saved, or you can get an image by opening up your browser. Go to Google Images, type in Xpadder Pictures Xbox 360. When you find the picture you want, right-click and copy image. Then we'll go back to Xpadder and click Paste. Now we'll go into sticks. Starting with the left thumbstick, check the Enable box. You'll get a pop-up window that'll tell you the direction to move your stick, to the left, then up, and now you have your stick paired. Then take this circle and drag it to the left stick on the picture. If you're not using a picture, then you can just move the circle to the general area the stick would be. Repeat the same for the right stick, hit Enable, move it to the left, then up, and now you're paired. Move the circle over to the right thumbstick. Onto the D-pad, hit Enable. Follow the prompts using your D-pad. Press up, press down, left, and right. Then you'll align this over the D-pad on your picture. With the buttons, I find it's easiest to assign one by one. We'll start with Y. Press Y on my controller, and now this box pops up. Just drag the box over and place it over Y. Do the same for B. Press B on your controller, then drag the box over to B. Press A, and drag the box over to A, and the same for X. Press X on the controller and drag to X. You'll do the same thing for your start and back buttons, R3 and L3, plus your right and left bumper. Once you've assigned each button, go through the buttons again and make sure everything is in the right spot and lighting up on the screen correctly when you push them. The last setting we'll go into is triggers. Hit Enable, press and hold your left trigger, and now it's paired. Do the same thing for the right trigger, press and hold, and now it's paired. Once everything is working fine, hit OK. Now that you have your controller recognized and buttons laid out how you want them, we have to assign a function to each button. If you see this little wrench next to the box, you can press it, and a list pops up with already preset functions laid out. But I'm going to go ahead and assign my own layout. For the left thumbstick, I'll select WSAD, and for the right stick, I'll assign mouse normal. But every button is really up to you and how you want to lay it out. You can also open a game to reference so you know which button does what on the keyboard. Once you're in the game, just go to Options, then Controls. I'll be using Brink as an example. If we were using a standard FPS layout, B on the controller is typically crouch, and we can see using crouch on the keyboard is C. So we'll go back to the Xpadder window, click B, and a virtual keyboard pops up. Assign the C button by clicking on it. Now when you hit B on your controller, it's just like hitting C on your keyboard. X is usually the reload button, and reload is R on the keyboard. So I'm going to assign R to X. I want A to be jump, which is space, and I want Y to cycle my weapons, and that is mouse scroll wheel down. Here is where all your mouse controls will be. If you want R3 to be melee, select the middle of the mouse, which is this button. And I want L3 to be sprint. I looked at the game and I know it's shift, so we'll go back and assign shift to L3. Now we'll go into the triggers. Left trigger I want to be aim down sights, and that will be mouse 2. The right trigger I want to be fire, and that will be mouse 1. Go ahead and continue assigning the buttons. As I mentioned before, it's really your preference and how you want to set it up to play. So once you're done assigning all the buttons, click the Save Profile button to make sure you save the profile you just created. By saving the profile, it'll remember the button placements and the controller itself. I'm going to name this Brink. After you have the profile saved, you're not done because you'll want to also save the layout so it'll have all the particular keys you have set to specific buttons on the controller. I'm going to name this Brink 1. The nice thing is you can save up to 8 layouts under one profile. One thing I recommend doing is to click this wrench to get your Xpadder settings. Under Windows, the very top box saying Minimize when closing main window. I would deselect this because all it'll do is when you hit the X button is minimize the window instead of closing the window. And the program will continue to run in the background, which may cause problems if you're playing a game that does support a gamepad. The computer will be confused and it won't know if you're using a keyboard or a controller. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'll have the links in the description box below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm Katie with Panic Knife Doll, and thanks for watching.